G'day everybody, it's Dan here at Pilates with Dan with another installment of your homework videos. This is the first video of 2020. Welcome to 2020. Hopefully you've had a great Christmas, New Year's period. If you don't know, here in Australia we haven't had a great Christmas, New Year's period, but we're always positive. Okay. This is the continuing level homework sheet for the month of February. We're doing things a little bit different in 2020. So we're breaking things down not into sort of 5-week terms, but into just themes that we're running for a set number of weeks. So this is for my continuing classes for February. So the focus here for the next few weeks is shoulder movement and how to incorporate arms into your work. We're going to need a TheraBand. So if you don't have a TheraBand at home, next time you're in the studio, borrow one. They're not an expensive thing if you want to go out and get, and they're certainly useful in a lot of different formats. But we're going to need a TheraBand for a little bit of the work today. Also make sure you've got your space all set up, ready to go. And because it's about 15 to 20 minutes of movement, so make sure you've got that time to do that. Once you're ready to go and you have your TheraBand, have a lay down on the floor, and we're going to start off with just a little pelvic curl, pelvic bridge. So I want to position your feet and legs nice and tight together, and I want you reaching the hands down by your sides. Now, quite often in classes I talk about laying on the floor actively. Okay, so here's a chance to do that. So once you've found your space on the floor, you've forgotten about what you've done for the day, okay, and just getting sort of accepting your body onto the floor in this space. Once that's happened, I want you to then start to press the arms firmly down into the floor, almost like you're going to push the floor away with the back of the arms. And then as you move, see if you can articulate the movement as best as you can. So today it might be a flat day. And what I mean by that is when you come up, you've lost a lot of the articulation that maybe you normally have. That's okay. Investigate and see what you have got access to today and rolling it down. We're going to do a couple more of these, just figuring things out, and back down. See if you can keep the arms pressing down. We're going to need them in a minute. Coming up and coming down. Let's just do one more. I feel myself starting to move a bit freer. And coming down. So how'd you go? In a sense for that. Then grab your TheraBand that you've got and place it just on your lap there. And you're going to grab hold of the TheraBand. Now the beauty of the TheraBand is you can determine how much resistance you want. So if you want a low resistance, you're going to hold quite close. If you don't want that much resistance, hold towards the end of the TheraBands. Okay. So I've opted for a kind of a mid point. Okay. So keep that TheraBand tight across your lap. So now the arms are having to do a lot of work. And press it up and back down. And maybe you're like me and almost get a cramp straight away. And coming up and coming down. So here you're using your own body to provide more work. So you're using your pelvis to provide more work for your arms. Isn't that nice of you? And coming down, two more. And down one last time. really pressing down and down. Good. Okay, so from there, pop that TheraBand to one side. You're going to bring the arms out a little bit wider. We're going to float the legs up, flex the feet, and just do a little bit of rotation. So I like to do this move after the pelvic curl because it just adds a new element, a new movement, new options. 2020 is about new options for me, for you, hopefully. Simple rotation. I'm trying to keep my shoulders fairly still. See how you're going there. Are your shoulders lifting up? Do you feel like you're kind of walking down your mat? Or can you stay fairly much in the same space? Good. You're going to come back to the center once you've evened up. Take the hands back behind the head. Here, right away, I can feel the work that we just did with the TheraBand. Okay, so hello triceps. Now, you're going to come up into a chest. So we're just going to warm up with some spinal flexion and back down. Taking your time to investigate the body. See what it's feeling like. Is today a necky day? Those who come to our studios know what that means. What we say is that some days you feel like your neck is doing all the work for you. When in reality, your neck can't lift your chest up. Okay, but it might feel like that, and that's the thing. Hold here. You're going to then turn. So we're going to rotate and center, rotate and center, rotate and center, rotate. So this is our lovely hula. So in all the movements so far, we've done movement in one plane of motion followed by a rotation. Okay, now from there we've got your 100. So your version of the 100, it may look different to this version. That's okay, just do your version. All I'm looking for is 10 breaths. And the reason for that is I want to have a sense of being connected to my breath, connected to my body early on in our little homework sheet here, okay? All right, so reaching the arms up. You're going to press up, hold your position, and breathe. I don't normally talk during this, so just work out amongst yourselves. Two more breaths. And rest it down. Good. Okay, so from there, I'm going to get you to sit up. And you're going to get your TheraBand and place it around your feet. So sitting up nice and tall. Okay, now with the TheraBand, what I want you to do is to figure out how your lower back and upper back kind of talk to each other a little bit. So what I mean by that is you're going to lay backwards, but I want your chest and head facing your feet throughout this movement. So don't let yourself kind of round or collapse. Okay, try and be up as tall as you can and roll the pelvis backwards. And you're going to figure out where can I do that to without letting myself round too much, and then come back up. So I want the movement to be quite low. And roll back. And roll it up. Extending the spine up the top. And it's a roll back. And roll back up. Now our mantra for this year in the studio is don't let gravity win. So what I don't want you to do is get to that point where it's like the point of no return. So that you've come to that point and there's no possible way that you can feel like you can get up. See my feet lift up there? Okay, and you end up falling backwards. Okay, that's you discovering how far you can go, and that's okay. But I want you to approach that point in a set number of reps and not get past that point. Okay, so you're approaching that point of no return. You're not going to let gravity win, and then you're going to come back up. Okay, and 2 more like that. And coming back up. And last one now. Roll it back. And coming back up. Sitting up nice and tall, you're going to bend the arms, pulling the elbows past the shoulders, and then return. Pull in and return. Pull in and return. So this is kind of like a little seated row. Pull in and return. One more time. And pull in and return. Good. So we've kind of warmed up the shoulders a little bit, ready for the real difficult stuff in this homework sheet. Okay, so this involves you being prone, so lying on your belly. We're going to kind of investigate shoulder mechanics and try and move things in a bit of a weird way. Okay, so have a lay down, and you're going to have your arms in what we call the goalpost position. So elbows are out from the shoulders. Now, here's the tricky bit. I want you to try and rotate the forearm without leading through the fingers. Okay, can you do that movement? Okay, if not, why not? But if not, you're trying to do as much as you can. If you're really struggling to even lift the forearm up, I want you to bend your elbows down until you can do that movement. Okay, so the further down your elbow goes, the less pressure, the less the range of motion is for this poor little shoulder of yours. Okay, so that's if you're struggling to get any sort of movement whatsoever. We want you to get some movement. Okay, all right, so from there, I digress. So you're going to rotate and back down, and rotate and back down. You can look at your wrists if you need to. 3 and 2 and 1. Good. Then we're going to progress that. So whatever position you're in, we're going to progress. Okay. So you're going to rotate and then lift the elbows up, lower the elbows down, lower the forearms down. Now, in the mat work classes, I talk about creating your angle. So you're creating your angle. You're going to try and keep the angle as you lift up, so that when you're back down, you're back at that same angle. When you lift up, the tendency for some people is to try and just focus on the elbow lifting. See how the angle's changed? It's gone to parallel with the floor. This is the angle. Keep this angle, lift up as high as you can, all right? So, rotate, lift, lower, return. Rotate, lift, lower, return. Just like that. And 3 and 2 and super fun 1 and down and down. Good. All right. So how'd you go? All right. So grab your TheraBand again and just either sit or kneel. We're going to just try and do a little bit of strengthening work now. So again, the beauty of the TheraBand is you can determine how wide your grip is going to be. Okay, so probably I like about a hand width apart. You can imagine a hand sitting in between there. Okay, that's about a hand width apart. If you've gone together, that's cool. If you've gone wider, that's cool too. But here's the tricky bit. This is where kind of like this self-modification, self-awareness, all the things of yourself, being honest with yourself and understanding what's happening through the body. Okay, so being aware. One of our principles is awareness, being aware of what's happening in your body. So here the focus is on your shoulders. How far can you bring your hands apart without the shoulder rolling forwards, without it lifting up, without the elbows going out? Okay, so rotating as far as you can and back in. The other thing is not letting the wrists do that. Okay, so as you rotate, don't let the wrists do all the work for you. We want the work to be back in the shoulders and back in, and rotate and back in, and rotate and back in. Let's do 3 more. This feels challenging but nice. 2 and 1 and return. Good. Okay, now the final thing comes from our friend Anula. Anula had this thing which was lovely in one of her workshops, which involves you scrunching up something and squeezing it. Now, this doesn't have to be a TheraBand if you don't want to wreck your TheraBands at home. You can use like a sock or a flannelette or something small and squishy that you can hold in the hand, right? So the idea here is we're going to operate the entire arm, but it's also not just the arm. So the parts of your body are not like, it's not a machine. You can't separate the arm from the rest of the body, right? So it's arm, yes, but it's also what's happening through the rest of the body. So I want you to apply some pressure to the thing that you're holding, the squeezy thing that you're holding. And then I want you to increase it like by 15%, okay? And increase it again by 15%. And so increase it again to about half of your total grip strength now, hopefully. Okay, if you're at 100%, go you. Okay, keep holding it at 100%. If you're not at 100%, try to squeeze a little bit more. So we're getting to 100%. We're going to do 2 more increases of that pressure, just slowly starting to ask more out of this system here. Squeeze. Now you're close as much as you can, as close to 100%. Okay, now keep squeezing it at 100%. Okay, and placing your hand just across your chest here on your shoulders, just for some feedback. And you're just going to extend the arm out in front of you. And now, keeping this arm straight, what I want you to do, we're going to riff a little bit on Anula's work. I just want you to explore this space to your side with a straight arm, exploring it, still squeezing it. Explore whatever you want, whatever feels comfortable to explore, first up. And we're just going to kind of explore out this way. And I think I want to go across the body a little bit. So we're just exploring that space. Now I want you to explore a space that may be a little bit uncomfortable or unusual, or something that you don't visit with that straight arm back here. Is for me, maybe it's above you. This might be a space that is a bit uncomfortable for you. Okay, I just want you to find that space that might be a little bit uncomfortable and return back to your hip, and then go back to that space, up and around, keeping the arm as straight and keeping that grip at 100% as much as you can. Bring it all the way back and resting it there. Okay, now that was nice. Now my arm feels very free and loose. Hopefully yours does too. Okay, so we do the other side as well because reasons. Okay, so I hate to be accused of leaving you lopsided. All right, so elbow bent, you've got a little bit of grip. We're just going to slowly increase it. It's kind of like, imagine dialing up the volume on a stereo just a little bit more. Just maybe you're already at 100% volume. Maybe you're trying to get a little bit more. Maybe your volume dials, like Spinal Tap, it goes all the way to 11. Right, so you're really starting to squeeze them, and we're getting closer and closer to that 100% work. I've got a lot of effort now holding on to this TheraBand, this thing that you're squeezing. Maybe it's a sock. Imagine trying to get water out of the thing you're squeezing. Really squeeze it out. Okay, now extend the arm out. Again, we're just going to riff off of Anula's stuff. We're just going to explore the space. So I want to explore this space out here with this arm. This arm feels very different to me, apart from the fact that it's my other arm, but the potential movement options for this arm don't feel the same. Okay, I'm just exploring this space, and I can feel that it seems a bit restricted in its movements. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and explore that space a little bit more where it was restricted, and reaching it long. So not only are you gripping, but you're also extending the arm out as much as you can. How are we going? I'm really in thought here. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm deep in thought. How is this arm feeling? It's feeling really different to the other side. And that's cool, I'm okay with it. It's my left-hand side. My left arm is different to my right arm. Oh, yeah, right back there is foreign for this arm. And coming all the way back in, and then releasing that grip. So how'd you go? Did you explore that space? Was it something a bit weird? We're finished. Thanks for joining me on this little homework sheet. The themes and ideas that we're exploring in this homework sheet will continue on in the studio, in mat work or circuit work or reformer work that you're doing. I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Bye-bye.